Hey, Reddit. Long-time lurker, first-time throwaway. I need to get this off my chest because it's been eating at me for years, and every time I walk into a certain room, I feel like a fraud. This is my 4-minute confession. I wasn't a bad kid in high school. Good grades, played soccer, didn't drink or smoke. I was the guy your parents told you to be friends with. But I had this deep, secret need for chaos, an urge to leave a mark, not a good one, but an undeniable one, on the sterile, soul-crushing environment of Oakhaven High. My vice wasn't petty theft or tagging walls. It was vandalism of pure, bizarre inconvenience. It started subtly in sophomore year. I hated the digital clock in my AP physics room. It was always a minute slow, and the teacher, Mr. Harrison, would constantly correct himself, muttering, "The clock's on Oakhaven Standard Time, folks, -1 minute." One day during lunch, I slipped in. I had practiced at home, and with a miniature screwdriver, I took the cover off, found the tiny mechanism, and sped it up, by exactly 30 seconds. The next day, Mr. Harrison was agitated. His internal rhythm was thrown off. He kept looking at his wrist, then the clock, then his syllabus. It's just wrong," he mumbled. "It's not 1 minute slow anymore. It's 30 seconds fast?" And that was it. I was hooked. I had created a tiny, localized glitch in the matrix, and only I knew the source code. My vandalism escalated into a bizarre art form over the next 2 years. The locker combinations, I didn't change them, I just adjusted the dials by a single, near-imperceptible notch. It meant kids who spun too fast or were sloppy would consistently fail to open their lockers on the first try, leading to a constant, low-level traffic jam in the halls. I'd watch the frustrated, key-banging students and feel a perverse satisfaction. The lab stools, the wood shop class had 50 heavy, identical wooden stools. Over several weeks, I'd take 2 home, 1 at a time, sand an almost imperceptible 1/4 inch off one of the legs, then bring it back. Soon, there were dozens of stools that rocked, just slightly, enough to be annoying but not enough to be obviously broken. The wood shop teacher, Mr. Finch, was convinced it was just settling wood. The art room sink, this was my masterpiece. I used a wrench to loosen the faucet aerator, the little screen on the spout, just enough. It didn't leak. Instead, the water pressure, when turned on full, would spray a fine, horizontal mist just over the edge of the sink, enough to lightly dampen the shoes of anyone standing too close. The art teacher, a lovely woman, spent an entire semester thinking her socks were perpetually damp and just kept saying, "Oh, it must be the humidity." I was never caught. I was too careful. I had plausible deniability. Who would suspect the star student of spending his lunch hour systematically loosening screws on desk chairs? The confession booth. The reason I'm confessing this now is because of the main office bathroom. My senior year, I realized I hadn't left a mark on the most official, pristine part of the school. In that bathroom, there was one wall-mounted paper towel dispenser. It dispensed towels through a slot, one by one. I managed to get the cover off. Inside, there's a rubber roller that pulls the paper through. All I did was take a piece of masking tape and stick it to the roller, creating a single, slightly sticky spot. The result? About 1 out of every 10 times someone used the dispenser, the paper would tear just short of being a full, usable sheet, leaving a useless sliver stuck in the slot. Everyone would then have to stick a finger in to pull the nub out and try again. It was pure, maddening inefficiency. After I graduated, I became successful, moved on, and barely thought about Oakhaven High. I'm 28 now. Last month, I was invited back to the school to speak at a career day. I'm introduced as a successful engineer, a model alum. After my speech, I'm waiting for the principal in the main office. I have to use the restroom. I walk into that familiar, quiet bathroom. I wash my hands, and I reach for the paper towels. Pull. The paper tears, leaving a tiny, crumpled nub of towel in the slot. I stare at the dispenser. It's the same model. It has the same faint scratches on the side. My little bit of tape is still, after 10 years, doing its job. I could see the fresh tear, the tiny, frustrating piece of paper, my legacy of micro-frustration. The principal walked in just as I was delicately fishing out the torn piece of paper. He cleared his throat. "Drives you crazy, doesn't it?" he said, shaking his head. "We've had that thing repaired 3 times. They say it's fine. I swear, it's just a lemon." I smiled politely, a successful engineer, a model alum, holding a useless sliver of paper towel, and feeling the crushing weight of a 10-year-old, utterly pointless, microscopic crime. I am the glitch. I am the source of all the minor annoyances in my old high school. And I can't ever fix it because that would be admitting I knew it was broken in the first place. Thanks for listening, Reddit. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go see if my living room lampshade is perfectly level.